The linking stage is out of the scope of the compiler tool. Therefore, there is a dedicated tool within the toolchain package to handle the linking stage. This tool is called linker. The linker will take as input the different objects file generated out of the compilation stages, and then try to resolve undefined symbols and labels across those different objects file. As an example, we may have a branch to a function called, let's say, f1. Then this function actually is defined here. So the linker will try out of this object number 2 to figure out where this function is defined, and then we'll look into other objects. Once found, then this symbol is no more problematic. Nevertheless, we may have a call for other functions that doesn't exist within those objects file. We are referring mainly, for instance, to symbols or label coming from external libraries or standard C libraries. Those functions are defined within those external or statics libraries. So we can call, for example, like memset or memcopy and so on. Those are standard C functions. Therefore, we need to give as input to the linker, besides this list of objects file, the list of the external library where those functions are defined. So anything, let's say any objects or any libraries needed to resolve undefined function or symbol must be provided as input to the linker. Of course, besides those objects and libraries, we need some additional input, which are set of options that state to the linker, for instance, this is which CPU name or which architecture, plus what is called the linker script. The linker script, as we have said before, represents the memory layout of the target. For instance, if we have a flash memory, then we need to specify the start and the size of the flash memory. And there, for instance, we are going to place our code on that place. If we have a RAM, then we need to specify basically the start and the size of this RAM. And we need to specify explicitly that our data, whether it is data or BSS, will need to be placed there. So it's quite critical actually to provide a proper linker script to the linking stage. Finally, once the linker gets all those input, then it will be able to process all those objects and external library to generate out of it an executable and linkable file. This file actually will contain two parts. First part is a binary representation of different instruction sets out of this objects file, and the second part is metadata. So the metadata can be simple information like the date of the creation of this file, the host machine, and so on, plus if requested some debug informations, and this debug information actually will be needed later by the developer to be able to debug or have live streaming debug of the executed binary within the target.